Hi, Maree. It's lovely to sort of catch up with you again.
Yeah, good to see you, Karen.
Yeah, and I think we've had a couple of good chats, and it's been really interesting to see your perspective on what's happening now in the
Mm,
world, in the business world, especially. That you're supporting leaders in business anyway. So I was
mm.
wondering, I guess I'd love for you to share, what I think what leaders most need right now in this sort of current world, and what they need to be mindful of, that I could
Mm.
share with my network of leaders.
Yeah, look, I think it is a time for leaders to be stepping up, and there's many things. But if I'm to focus on one core right now, it's communication. Communication right now is absolute key, whether it's through similarly to what we're doing visually, or whether it's just verbally, or whether it's in writing. It just needs to be considered, consistent, and constant. And one thing around doing that is that there's a part that often is missed in that is the safe listening. And what I mean by that is that leaders are used to fixing things, coming up with solutions, being the main voice in the room. And often what they miss is actually just stepping back and listening safely in a way that is unconditional, so that the person who's sharing with them, it could be something quite intimate. There's a lot of angst out there right now. So it's for those leaders to actually be listening without judgment, and without the individual who might be in some form of meltdown having a fear that will impact negatively on the view the leader has of them. So it's around, asking rather than telling. It's seeking to empathize rather than to fix. It's really, I think, leaders not only finding a quiet space to enable others to lead themselves, but for leaders to actually create that for themselves as well. A bit like your analogy of the safety mask in the aeroplane on first. Leaders do need to look after themselves around actually communicating with themselves and then enabling that for others.
Yeah,
Um, and,
such an
and the
important
gift,
point. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And the gift of that right now is that if leaders can really get very grounded in that safe listening and that constant communication, this will serve them well into the future.